Welcome, folks. Welcome back to Dominant Mets Nation, episode 14 of our off-season Central series. Well, folks, how are you? How are you? Quite frankly, it is 2 a.m. right now, and you know what? I got Juan Soto on the brain, and I like to communicate my latest thoughts on the latest Juan Soto updates in this Juan Soto saga. So you know what? It's late, folks. Show your support, like, subscribe, because I'm doing this because I want to communicate with you. Okay, folks, and also too, thank everyone for following us at X at Dominant Mets. Thank you so much for all of you who have moved over there. Continue to follow us on X at Dominant Mets. I appreciate each and every one of you. I want to say also thank you to all our new subscribers and our old subscribers. You know who you are. I appreciate every one of you. All right, so let's get into the latest Juan Soto updates. And I mean, I'm telling you, this is pretty interesting. I listen to the radio once in a while, and I'll see some clips from Michael K's show, and Michael K. I don't really listen to the radio that much, but when I do, it's interesting. Michael K. is the type of guy that he thinks this whole Juan Soto dog and pony show is ridiculous, especially since his coveted owner Hal Steinberg has to travel across the country. That's probably why he thinks it's ridiculous. Here's the deal, folks. We're talking about $700 million, right? Okay, the guy's a 26-year-old, very intelligent, very talented young man. This whole thing is going to happen over the course of, I'd say, 20 days, right? By mid-December or even by early December, I think we'll have a decision. All right, so what? You got to prance over to Scott Boras, Juan Soto, and you present your best foot forward. Put your best foot forward. And that is what the Boston Red Sox tried to do today. How did they do? Well, you know what, folks? A couple of very interesting, I would say super interesting nuggets came out of this meeting. Interesting nuggets that affect each and every team that are pursuing Juan Soto. Why, you may ask? Well, Juan Soto actually revealed 4 very important items that is on his wish list that he wants to know for each team. What does each team have for these 4 items? So we're going to go over those 4 items because it is very important. We all know cash is the number one item, but it's very interesting what else Juan Soto values. All right, so as soon as I heard Juan Soto's listening to the Red Sox, I kind of had in the back of my head, Juan Soto, he's got to be humoring the Red Sox, or he could be needling the Yankees or needling the Mets, trying to jack up his price. Because at the end of the day, the Red Sox in the last couple years, they've really, I got to say, after winning the World Series, I believe they won in 2018, 2019, around there, a couple years ago. What the hell? You let Mookie, you trade away Mookie, right? A 26-year-old, you trade away to the Dodgers. Potentially, he was the best player in all of baseball, and you continue to rebuild because you're trying to save money, right? So last year, I believe they re-signed Rafael Devers, and they were pulling teeth just to give their star player a contract. Now you're telling me you're going to give a crap load of money, the most money in all of baseball, to Juan Soto, and then you're going to proceed to build a team around him? That's a little hard to believe. Then Juan Soto's supposed to believe you when you say you're committed, when a couple years ago you changed courses like that when you traded Mookie Betts. I don't know. I'm interested to see the ultimate outcome, but let's really dissect what kind of happened today. To get into some of the details, today, Juan Soto had a meeting. He had a meeting with the Red Sox. It was a 3-hour meeting. It included team president Sam Kennedy, chairman Tom Werner, who stood in for the owner John Henry. Very of note, the owner John Henry was not in attendance, unlike Steve Cohen, who will be in attendance. Very important note there. Chief Baseball Officer Craig Breslow and manager Alex Cora were all in the meeting. The meeting lasted about 3 hours, and while no financial details were exchanged, Soto was reportedly very impressed by Boston's presentation. The presentation included everything from the team's plans for the future to its impressive haul of near MLB-ready prospects to even a video highlighting past Dominican stars like David Ortiz and Manny Ramirez. And I'm going to give you some quote David Ortiz, what David Ortiz's take was on this situation shortly. But the most important thing that came out of this presentation was what Soto demanded of the team, what he wanted. He has a wish list, and he has a certain list that he wants each team to answer. So we're going to cover that soon. But first, let me get to what David Ortiz said. What David Ortiz said. And it's kind of like really interesting. So it looks like Boston Red Sox, they're really utilizing their past stars, Manny Ramirez, David Ortiz. They were from the Dominican Republic, and using that connection to kind of entice Juan Soto, saying, oh, these past stars were from the Dominican Republic. How much does that mean to Juan Soto? Probably means a little, but I don't know if that's something that would really, really entice him. I don't know. Okay, so Ortiz shared with WEEI's Rob Bradford that he actually was with Juan Soto's mother and brother the night before the Red Sox reported meeting with the superstar outfielder. Very interesting. Okay, so you know what? That information tells you that there is a relationship there. Ortiz also mentioned to Bradford that he and Soto each have a residency in the same building. More interesting. Okay, interesting. So it seems like there is a relationship between David Ortiz and Juan Soto. But the thing is, David Ortiz, I would say that means a whole lot more if David Ortiz was currently on the Red Sox. He's not. But it looks like they have a relationship. Okay, so now the Red Sox icon is hoping that Soto will also make Fenway Park his professional home, just like Ortiz did when he signed with the team in 2003. Ortiz goes on to say, I'm telling you, we would literally have a Manny Ramirez and Poppy on the left side, Ortiz told Bradford, referring to the current third baseman Rafael Devers and Juan Soto. Okay, so he's comparing Devers and Soto to himself and Manny Ramirez. Well, I don't see Devers as either on Manny Ramirez or David Ortiz, but that's his own interpretation, his own opinion. So he goes on to say, David Ortiz, that is, David Ortiz says if there was one player in baseball who could be the next David Ortiz in Boston, it's Juan Soto. He's that good. He's got great makeup. And it's so funny, David Ortiz saying this, he's giving himself such big pats on the back. If there's anybody who could be the next me, it's Juan Soto. All right, David Ortiz, I know you're trying to sell Juan Soto, but you don't have to pat yourself on the back that much. You and the Poppy and the Manny Ramirez comment. So, and that's where players, I think they have an ego that, when you're trying to sell another player, you don't have to talk so much about yourself. All right. So while Devers has been named an all-star in 3 of the last 4 seasons, The Red Sox have lacked that MVP player since they traded Mookie Betts in 2020. What do you expect? You traded away the best player in all of baseball, and now you're looking for Juan Soto? I mean, this is where I'm kind of confused by this, but Betts was the team's last MVP, winning it in 2018. He's phenomenal. While Xander Bogaerts' fifth place finish in 2019 was the last time the team had a player finish in the top five. Soto, who's 26, hasn't won an MVP, but he'll finish in the top five. Okay, so that's not really important. So Ortiz goes on to say that Soto dominates at the plate. We know that. So this is where, again, Ortiz goes back to his heritage. He goes, if there is a guy I would like to build a team around, it would be Juan Soto, Ortiz told Bradford. Juan Soto speaks Spanish and speaks English so he can communicate with both American and Latin players. He has that good vibe. I'll tell you what. The Yankees went that far this year because of him. He changed everything for them there. When you have a top player doing the things that he does, everybody follows up. That's what they did over there. He's showing, and honestly, I agree with that. The Yankees took a huge step this year, a huge step. They had a lot of holes, a lot of weaknesses. I saw when they played our New York Mets. They had a lot of deficiencies to expose. But Juan Soto, a guy like that, does a great job covering that up. Okay. Now, as far as the Latin plays the Latin community, there's no better Latin community than in Queens, New York. So, I know there's Latin communities all over the place, but Latin community in Queens, New York, there is no better community. So come, and that's actually a benefit. He mentioned he speaks English and Spanish. That's why he's a great fit in Queens, New York. To Ortiz's point, the Yankees went from missing the playoffs to winning the AL East and reaching the World Series after acquiring Soto. Soto has tremendous pedigree for someone his age. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Wow. This is something I did not know. Listen to this. In 2021, they asked Juan Soto, who was your favorite team? So he told Hector Gomez, my favorite MLB team was Boston because of the Dominicans who played with them. Manny Ramirez, David Ortiz, Pedro Martinez. So this is something I did not know. The Red Sox were his favorite team. It's going to take a lot more than that to get him to go to Boston. I'm telling you that right now. And we know Ortiz, and the thing is, this is what I don't get. Ortiz was with his family members the night before, but this means so much to Ortiz, means so much to Boston, yet Ortiz wasn't even in the meeting. Ortiz reportedly wasn't a part of the Red Sox meeting with Soto in Southern California on Thursday. So it means so much to Ortiz, he's not even there. So we're still going to get to the 4 wish list items of Soto. I just want to hear from one more Red Sox player. Liam Hendricks believes Red Sox are going full metal in pursuit of Juan Soto. Okay. So, everybody, all the players think that their ownership are going to get this man. That's kind of funny. Okay, let's see what Liam Hendricks tries to say. So Hendricks was asked about the fact that his team secured a sit-down with Soto during a Friday episode of Foul Territory. The 35-year-old closer offered some positive analysis of the meeting and Boston's strategy to improve its club this offseason. I apologize. It's almost 2:15. Like, subscribe if you haven't liked and subscribed. Okay. So Hendricks goes, you look at, from a roster breakdown point of view, does it make sense signing Soto? How many times does a guy like Juan Soto's caliber at his age come up on the free agent market? Hendricks said. And when you got the deep enough pockets, are you going to delve into it? You may as well take it out and you may as well do your due diligence. I don't think that makes sense, but these are words from Liam Hendricks. I see what he's saying. A guy like Juan Soto doesn't come along every day. And even though it's going to cost a lot of money, you do your due diligence because it still may be worth the gamble or worth the risk long term. You know what? He's a generational player. Everybody's saying he's excuse me, he's not a generational player. He's a generational hitter. A generational hitter. Okay, so that's enough from the players. I think Ortiz's comments were a lot more impactful. But let's get to the meat of what Juan Soto was looking for, his wish list items. Okay, so here were his wish list items. This is what he wanted to know. He goes at the end of the presentation, number one, Soto wanted to know what was the team's commitment to winning? How committed to winning is the team? Number one. Number two, what are the player evaluation methods? Number two, what are, no, this is number three. What are the facilities? How good are the facilities? How good are the facilities at the ballpark? So the three things you have are the commitment to winning, the player evaluation methods, and the facilities, the park facilities, and probably all the technology, everything that can help make Juan Soto's career go as good as possible. So, I mean, like, if you pack that down, commitment to winning, I think a team like Boston has shown in the last 5 years it's very on shaky ground. It is extremely on shaky ground. Yes, they won 4 championships in the last 20 years. What have you done for me lately? What have you done for me lately? How long is it going to take before the Red Sox get back to winning ways? Get back to winning ways. The Yankees went to the World Series. The Dodgers won the World Series. The Mets came up a little short. You have teams that are knocking on Juan Soto's door that are already established winners without him. Without him. So now, if you add Juan Soto to a team like the Mets, how much better do they become in addition to all the other additional moves they're going to make? So in order, the commitment to winning is a huge problem, and it might spell doom for Boston. It really might. You know, David Stearns, and it said really in the last year, and this is what they've been doing, and this is what I like. As far as the performance on the field, we see the Mets went all the way almost to the World Series. So their performance on the field, it's there. They're close. They're very close. But behind the scenes, and this is where they're being very sneaky, they're building up everything from scouting to the facilities to the technology to every single aspect off the field. David Stearns and the New York Mets are greatly beefing up beyond belief their talent acquisition, their development models. Everything is improving. And their farm system is also improving. The talent, their youth, everything is getting better in Queens. And then, not to mention, you have Steve Cohen, an owner who will run through a damn brick wall, who is going to California to meet you. He's not sending somebody else like John Henry. Owner is going to meet you. Look in your eyes, Mr. Juan Soto, because it means that much to him. It means that much to the New York Mets. And you know he's good for it. You know he's a billionaire. You know he wants to win. Commitment to winning. That is the problem. Right then and there, Boston Red Sox are out. They're out. No doubt about it. Then when you look at the facilities and the technology, if Boston is not invested in the talent on the field, how much do you think they're investing in the facilities off the field? So, I mean, as much as Boris and everybody are saying it went well, I think Juan Soto's last couple questions were damning. Commitment to winning, the facilities. The only thing that the Red Sox have kind of going for them is they have their history. David Ortiz, Manny Ramirez, Pedro Martinez. Obviously, he mentioned Juan Soto. He was a fan. And number two, player evaluation methods. The Red Sox, you give them credit. They have a top farm system. They do. Whatever you look at, you can look at MLB Pipeline. You could look at many different publications. They're in the top 10. Some have them in the top 5. I think the highest I've seen them ranked is actually 3, top 3 farm system. They got guys coming up like Roman Anthony, Marcelo Mayer. Been hearing about that kid for quite some time. And Roman Anthony, he's an outfielder, very good outfielder. Marcelo Mayer, shortstop. These two guys are on the doorstep. They're projected to be ready in 2025. So it's not like you're going to have to wait years. Kyle Teal, he's a very talented catcher. He's another guy projected to come up next year. So those 3 young prospects, very talented prospects, are ready. Then you got some pitchers like David Sandlin. He's also a guy who is projected to be ready in 2025. Also guys like Richard Fitz, getting a little lower on the talent level, but they're top guys, a couple top guys. Marcelo Mayer should be ready, and Roman Anthony. So you got an infielder and a top outfielder. Those 2 guys are 20 and 21. They are ready to come up in 2025. So if that's the only thing. And the Mets too. Mets, Dodgers, they all have prospects ready. Or they have a team that's actually ready to win. The Red Sox, they haven't been winning as of late. So I don't know if Juan Soto wants to wait 3 or 4 or 5 years to actually get in that winning, that competing for that World Series mode when you have other teams that are already there. Like I said, the Mets, the Dodgers, the Yankees. I mean, other teams are already there, the Phillies. So, it really depends what he's looking for. But at least, by him meeting with the Red Sox, other teams, they get to prepare a bit more. Now they get to see, okay, he's looking at the facilities, technology. Now we're going to show him how we are the best. Player development, he's interested in that. Now other teams can prepare better. My big thing, and I said this on a couple shows back, I didn't want to be first. I always feel that the first team is the team that you want to get over with. The team that the free agent is not really interested. You always keep those teams that you really are interested in, I think, last. Unless you meet with them multiple times. I mean, if he met with the Mets first and then he has 2 and 3 meetings, that's a different story. But let's just say he only has 1 meeting with the Red Sox. They're done. Okay. All right, folks. So this is what time is it? It's 2:26 in the morning. What am I doing? I got work at like 7:30. All right. So I apologize. Little tired. I worked till 11:30, 12, but you know what? I'm really thinking about Juan Soto. I got Juan Soto on my mind. Let me know what you think. And please, like I said, if you could subscribe, it really helps out the channel. But all right, I'm gonna head to bed. Got to get ready for work. I hope you enjoy this. Everyone, have a great night. Again, thank you all in advance. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you watch till now, please follow us on X at Dominant Mets. Thank you. I'm trying to build that platform up as well. Thank you all. Have a great day, and I will give you updates very, very soon in our next video. Good night. Or if you're watching it during the day, have a good day.